always said you gotta break a few eggs.
I see you again in a day.
Get down!
Every series of actions creates a pattern.
It's not about the money.
What is it about?
I'm getting close. I know it. Hello, James.
All right, yesterday I did finish up my 3-movie watching deal with Crime 101. This was the final movie I watched. This is directed by Bart Layton. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry, Nick Nolte's in there, Barry Keoghan. As you can tell, this is the next morning, so that can kind of give you a hint about how I felt about this movie. And I'm going to go on a rant on this one just because this is why I do not trust Rotten Tomatoes. This film, let me check one more time again, has a 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, okay? And I went and saw How to Make a Killing. I almost didn't go see How to Make a Killing because it had like a 60%. Now I think it has like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics hated on that movie for some reason. I like that movie so much better than I liked this movie. And I'm not going to say I hated this movie, but once again, Rotten Tomato scores can let you down, and you cannot live your life on Rotten Tomato scores, Darth Easy, because this movie was so dull and so boring compared to the first 2 movies I went and saw. But in this one, you got Chris Hemsworth. He plays like he does these like, he robs couriers, basically. And he does it without hurting people, and he's really good at it. And Nick Nolte is his handler, I guess. And basically he gets scared and decides he doesn't want to do one of these things. And Mark Ruffalo's the cop on his case, and then Halle Berry is kind of his next mark. But he basically gets scared. He tells Nick Nolte, I don't want to do it anymore. So Nick Nolte gets Barry Keoghan to come chase him around and basically do the things that he doesn't want to do. That's kind of your gist of the movie. Chris Hemsworth's character, and I like Chris Hemsworth, but to compare him to Glenn Powell, like, his character is so boring and dull in this. It felt like a Brie Larson, like somebody told him to act super monotone, and maybe that was called for this character, but he is like, there's this whole love interest stuff, and there's no wonder the girl, I can't believe it's just hot. That's the only reason that he was keeping women's attention, because his personality was so dull, and he would just be like, he would never talk, and he would just mumble and just be like, huh, what? And it was just, gosh, it was draining to watch. Just that alone. Not a good performance for me from Chris Hemsworth. I thought Mark Ruffalo was good. I thought Halle Berry was actually a lot better in this than Chris Hemsworth, but he was the star. Barry Keoghan's character was like crazy and all over the place, but it was entertaining. There's a couple cool like car chase scenes and action scenes, but I would say that the pacing in this movie is really slow and boring, and it just drags and drags and drags, and then there's like not a crazy big twist ending. It kind of just ends, and characters do things that you're like, oh, okay, whatever. So to say that I was disappointed by this movie is an understatement. I will not be rewatching this movie again, and yeah, like I said, I don't understand the super high Rotten Tomato score for this, but then you're going to give a real awful, critics are going to tank on How to Make a Killing, which was so more entertaining than this. So I don't know, and maybe I'm unfairly comparing the two because they're not really the same kind of movie. I mean, but I don't know. And then for a heist movie, I like a good heist movie, and that's kind of what this is, just a series of a bunch of different heists. I don't know. I was bored. There was a couple moments in this movie where I thought about leaving only because I wanted to go get me something to eat and go home, but I stuck it out and finished it. But yeah, for me, it's worth a one-time watch. I guess if you're really hot for Chris Hemsworth, then you might really enjoy it. But gosh, was it boring for me. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5, and I think I'm being generous on Crime 101. So until next time, this is Randy Cage.